Okay, so welcome to the Prosper Leader Members Office Hours. Of course, this is the place that you can come and it's a threefold. I was explaining just a minute ago, threefold. Number one, if you have something that you want coaching or support from me, this is where you can find me every Thursday morning at 9 Pacific Standard Time. Number two, to take advantage of the mastermind capabilities with like-minded, with your Prosper sisters. It's fabulous to say, hey, what do you all think about this title or this ad or this whatever I'm working on or I'm struggling with, or I need to know how, or have any of you tried? So taking advantage of that. And third is opportunity to teach. So we opened, in this particular case, I asked the question, do you have solid intentions, like your top 3 intentions? I believe intentions are one of the most powerful things that we can create in our business and in our life in general. The truth is, actually, all of nature, the way God has created it, all of nature responds to our intentions. So not only do our intentions, when they're clear, really move us, but all of nature, all of heaven and earth responds to our intentions. So we have the new Prosper Daily Plan. You'll see it very quickly. It's being put to print and spiral bound. But one of the places where it used to say inspirational quote or verse, if you're still using the old one, we have replaced that with intention. That's the place to write your intention every single day. There's other changes. You're going to like them all. It's getting better and better. Thank you for all your feedback. So intention. There's a book called The Intention Experiment. It's been a year since I've read it, but what I remember is that even plants responded. Like they would go in and have 2 groups of plants, and they'd have a certain intention that they'd go to one for it to just prosper and bloom and be healthy, and they'd send that energy, and the plants would thrive, and the other ones, they wouldn't do anything, and they didn't thrive as well. So what I know is that intention moves us and moves things. So from there, you have a solid intention for the like 3, like especially the main areas of your life. It may be an intention for your health. It may be an intention for your business. It may be an intention and like a goal, I mean, an intention and a goal kind of goes together. They should match up, like your goal should line up with your intention, but it should be measurable. It should be achievable. Like there's no sense to say, unless you can do this, I want to make $1 million this month. I mean, anything's possible, but if you've not yet made 6 figures, it's probably not the best goal or intention for you, right? So it should be achievable and it should be measurable. Like some people say, well, I just want to make more money in my business. Well, cool. If you make $1 more this year than last year, you made more money. Are you happy with that? Right? So it's got to have a certain measurable aspect, okay? And then it needs to have some kind of timeline. So I'm getting more into goals than intention. So the intention may be, I'm going to play full on in my business. I'm going to dedicate myself to growing my business this year. Okay, that's an intention. That's like saying I am committed. It's a focal point in my life. I'm going to give it my time, my energy. I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn. I'm going to invest. Okay, it is an intention. Then take that intention and put it. One of you guys needs to mute yourself. I hear you clearing your throat right now.
Sorry.
So then we take that intention and we move it into the tangible goal that is achievable, measurable, has a time frame. Okay. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. Is it on your calendar? Is it in your schedule? So you may say, and I'm as guilty, look, I'm not coming to you from a place of like, I've arrived. I'm always fine-tuning this. I'm always self-correcting, okay? I've had the goal for a couple of years to finish my book. My book's not finished, okay? So I'm a human being like the rest of you. We all are always evolving and growing, right? So I have to look at that and go, okay, is it really my intention to write my book this year? I hired a book coach. I have the blueprint. Like, okay, is it truly my intention? Is this really important? Do I want to keep it on the top of the list? Okay, then the goal gets broken down to, By when? So how many pages or chapters do I need to do? Then it goes from the goal to the schedule. Well, we break it into 20-minute chunks if you're using the Prosper Daily Plan, and then it goes into your calendar. So I had to have a hard talk with myself this morning when my coach asked me about intention. And it's like, okay, my intention is write a book, but where is it on my schedule? Where is it? It's not there. And the times that I used to write now have coaching and other things in there. So where am I going to do this? If it's not on your calendar, it's not going to get done. So this is like, look at where the hole is. If you picture like, I don't know, a bag or something, right? Like a balloon, like where's the leak, right? Is it leaking that you really didn't set a solid intention? So it might be a New Year's resolution that's gone by, January 17th. Or is it that you have the intention, but you didn't turn it into a tangible goal that's measurable, attainable with a schedule? Or do you have the solid goal, but you didn't create space for it in your life, especially in your schedule, right? So then once it's in your schedule, okay, are you scheduling it and then you're just not showing up for yourself? So it's on the schedule, but you still didn't do it, okay? And you allowed something else, which opened this conversation about the things that will then come in to try to take that space. And there's a lot. People are going through a lot. Families are going through a lot. There's jobs and companies are going through, like there's a lot that will vie for your attention. So now you have to look at how serious you are about this. Like my coach says, like, what have you made non-negotiable? Non-negotiable. And so if writing in your book or doing a podcast or talking to 3 brand new people a day or posting every single day or doing a masterclass every month or doing a launch every quarter, like whatever it is, you cannot allow yourself, you have to walk in integrity. Now, this is something I'm calling myself on a lot right now. So when you read the 4 agreements, there is the idea that the first agreement, or I think it's the first one, is to be impeccable with your word. Now, this means be impeccable with word even to myself. Like, do I do what I promised myself or what I commit to myself? Do I do what I promise my clients? Do I do what I promise? So, again, I want to just be really real to not have you think that it's not something I don't go through as well. Everything I'm sharing, I'm just like open book. So, for example, when everybody joined the Prosper Leader group, they gave me their email and I promised them time management secrets of Jesus. Okay, it's been what, a month? And I have not sent them that. Now, first of all, it got reworked. By the way, the new time management secrets of Jesus, Linda did a fabulous job. It's been updated. It's got more in it. It's beautiful. Okay. But I now needed to have integrity. That's available. I've got to make sure. I promised everybody, I could have just blown that off and just never sent anything. And many companies do. And it'd be easy. See, things are easy to do. They're easy not to do. I had to sit last night until, 7 o'clock or whatever it was, writing a personal email, sending off personal emails to every person and sending them that, because I'm having a couple rules for myself this year. And that's one of them. If I promise something to myself, like I'm going to post every day or I've got to be in integrity with my word to myself. And if I promise anything to a client or another person, I've got to be in integrity with that, right? So that goes in with what you were saying, Julie. If you're in integrity that you've marked certain time to work on your business, unless like the house is burning down or someone's dying or something, it's non-negotiable. Just like if you had a job or an appointment or a dentist appointment or a doctor, like you will show up during that time no matter what. Even if everything around you is falling apart, you'll honor those important appointments. we have to make those kind of non-negotiable appointments with ourselves. So the key, Julie, for your business is not to be vague, not to be vague. So working with a coach, that's an awesome accountability, support, finding your blind spots, having the tools, the strategies, absolutely. But your business is not going to grow if you're not talking to new people, if you're not making offers, if you're not, right? So we've got to make sure that that's on our calendar. We're kidding ourselves if we think we're going to create a six-figure business if we're not making offers all week long, if we're not showing up and adding value, if we don't have some kind of lead generation system that we're talking to new prospects. If you're not talking to new people, then of course you're not making offers. And if you're not making offers, of course you're not selling, right? You can see it's a slippery slope, right? So, so the key is, in looking at this, having an intention, turning that intention into goals, turning those goals into your calendar, and then making it those certain things as it has to do with your business. Like, what are your business hours? Now, this is something that I had to really learn. Now, fortunately, I haven't had a boss or manager for over 30 years, so I'm really used to being self-employed. But if you're not used to being self-employed, this is where network marketers fall down. This is where new coaches fall down. When they leave a job, when the structure was there and they knew what time they had to be there and they knew when their lunch was and they knew when their vacation was. Now there's no boss or manager, and it's going to be a self-discipline to show up and have your open sign up. Like, I remember, 30 years ago when I first got into network marketing, and the question was, okay, in your business, how much time is the open sign up, right? If you considered it like a physical building, like, how much time is your open sign up, right? And the open sign can be divided into two parts. You're working in your business. How much time are you working in your business? Like, how many clients are you talking to? Prospects are you talking to? Value you're adding, lead generation, like things that actually move the needle. That's working in your business. Working on your business are the things that, you're doing with your coach and so on, where we're putting the outer structure to grow and improve and create a business that can grow and sustain growth. So looking at, okay, realistically, like, am I being in integrity with my word, and how much time is my open sign up? And if I say I'm going to do certain things, am I doing it? And it's not easy. I get it. It's so easy to get distracted, but that's what I would encourage when it comes to that. So is that helpful? Any comments or questions on that? Is there an area that you'd love more support or ideas, or ask me how I do something? Is there something as it relates to that you may have questions? I know many of you turned off your camera now, but I don't mind, unless you don't want to be seen. Your camera can be on. It's fine. Any area of those things, of setting an intention, setting goals, calendaring, being in integrity with your word, making it non-negotiable, that you're struggling with, that you would like support? Or are you guys good on all that?
This is Natalie. So, one, if you could give the name of that book again, or just type it in the text. Because I always had this thing, and I think what it is just a word understanding. I think I got stuck on the word intention and a different thing. And I've always had challenges, like, what is an intention? But I think I now know better. But I have been doing exactly what you said. I'm rereading the Four Agreements, and I've been going back. I actually went back and said, okay, what did I say I was going to do that I haven't done? And let me go back. And it's so funny because people are like, girl, I totally forgot. I said, I didn't. And I said, and that's
Yeah.
one of my things that I need to really work on this year, is to make sure that I work with in integrity. And one of the other things that I'm doing is, at the end of the day, I say to myself, what did you promise today? And did you complete, like, what, go through and
Yeah.
list
Yeah.
anything that you promised anybody today,
Yeah. Yeah.
and make sure you
So
get that
good.
piece done. So those are some of the things I really
So
appreciate. This is
good.
so very timely for me because it's exactly what I said that I've been working on myself with. Yeah.
So good. Thank you, Natalie. You also kind of refresh my memory on one more aspect that I'm working on and that will do this. So in addition to integrity with our word and making sure we do what we say we're going to do to ourselves and to others, there's another huge thing that any successful business person, any leader has in common. And that is that success loves speed. Success loves speed. So, why do I share that? One of my first coaches, in a lot of ways, it was the biggest waste of money, but I tried to make the best out of it. You know, my first coach, I really got very, very little. However, the couple things I have run with, I guess I have to say, okay, that's great. And the first thing I got was that all over the walls, when he would do events, he had GSDF, which stands for get stuff, or you could use a different S word, done fast. Get stuff done fast. Okay. And this is a success secret like none other. If there's anything that keeps us from succeeding, and so what happens is the idea, instead of waiting till everything is perfect or the conditions are in place, in fact, the Bible has a verse about that. If we wait for all the conditions to be right, we'll never get anywhere. And it was talking about sowing and fields and so on. So the idea is, with the best of your ability, you do your homework, you put it together, but with the best of your ability, you just act. You act fast. And then you make mid-course adjustments. So you do a master class and shoot, you forgot to, be interactive and give them any time to ask questions. Cool. You learn from it and you do the next master class and you incorporate that. So you're always making like mid-course adjustments, but you're in motion. The basic law of physics, right? A body in motion tends to stay in motion, right? And so most coaches and network marketers, they spend so much time like getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. And some of them have a really well-crafted story. They will tell me that that's who they are, and it's so important until they have all these things in place. But the truth is, a year passes, 2 years, and they're still not making money. Okay, they're still not making an impact. There's no income. There's no impact. Perfectionism doesn't get you income. Never, ever, ever does perfectionism get you income. Perfectionism doesn't get you impact. You've got to show up. I've heard different coaches say it different ways. Do it ugly, right? Do it. And I've shared with you, one of my coaches that put out his first book and the cover was so ugly and everybody made so much fun of him about how ugly his book cover was. And he always responded, well, my ugly book is making much more money than the book you still haven't written, right? And so, this idea of you're going to be evolving. If I look at the master classes I did when I first started, or the trainings I did, I mean, now I've been doing trainings for 30 years. If I go back and it's like, oh gosh, did I really show up with those slides? Those are really bad. Did I really but they were right for then. At least I was in motion. Right. And so we're, as Tony Robbins would call it, CANI, constant and never ending improvement. So commit to learning from each one, and each masterclass gets better. Each sales presentation gets better. Each talk, each podcast, each my writing. I look at my writing. I used to think I was a good writer, but now I've had a writing coach and I've been doing a lot of practice. My goodness, my writing sucked. Okay. But it's okay, because you're never going to become a better writer without writing. You're never going to become a better coach without coaching. You're never going to, you get it? It's part of the process. So part of, the intention is to actually take action. So, Oh, thank you, Julie, for putting down that. I was going to go get the author and send it to you later. Thank you. The intention experiment. Thank you for doing that. So here's the thing. Lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? It's gone. It'll come to me later. So does that help you? We really want to add. Oh, I know. I was going to say, you all know my success equation, right? And none of these can be neglected. It's mindset. Every day, mindset is a daily reading a book that's growing you, listening to podcasts, turning your car into a rolling university. I am always listening and trying to grow and reading, right? Mindset, we've got to. Mindset. Skill set, always improving, always honing our craft. You're going to get better and better and better at teaching, better at coaching, better at writing, but you're only going to get better by doing it. But we're always growing our skill set, okay? But finally, action, right action. We've got to be in action. And if you're not in action in your business, and that means action in money-making activities. Look, your business needs to produce a profit. You've got two sides, income and impact, right? You're doing what you're doing. There's got to be an income, or why are you in business? Forget it. It's too much headache to not make income. It's too much work. It's too much of your life force to not make income. So if you're not making income, we have to get the income coming in and impact. If you are a heart aligned, spirit aligned, your business has to be in alignment with who God's called you to be and the gifts he's called you to release, right? So we've got to be making income and impact. But if we're not showing up, there's no income and there's no impact. It's better to do it messy. Messy, there's income and impact. It's better because you're going to learn from messy. You're going to get better and better and better. So without action. So if you're not, a part of what we've built into the Prosper Daily Plan is an evening routine. And in the evening routine, there is a self-reflection for the day. Like, how many people did I talk to? How many leads? How much follow-up did I do? There's got to be some things of looking at, okay, if I say I'm in business, how much time did I do income producing activities, right? Make sense? Okay, Julie, I think you had your hand up.
Yes, and as I course correct, I have to go, because you and we just started, we're at the very beginning, and I just sat there and said, okay, the first step is to just break it down in those 20-minute chunks. But even putting the filter and just being more strict, I think the first quarter of the year, there's so much, everyone's starting something new, or you might have to wrap up some conversations. So I just need to put it through the filter of, is that one of these two items? No. And I just have to go, no.
Yeah.
And
Good.
it's
Good,
fascinating
Julie.
how many things I've had to say no
Good.
to. Or go,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I can't.
So another thing we changed in the Prosper Daily Plan, it used to say will do, could do, and should do. We've now changed that to include delegate, do, delegate, and delay, right? So we've got to run things through that, and then there's delete, okay? So we've got to run things through those filters. Everything, there's lots of good things, but they're not necessarily God things. There's good things. There's so many things that are good. Like, I was gifted a keyboard. I really wanted to start being able to play some music. It's in my room. I bought the course, I bought the book. But when I started looking at all the things I was adding to my life, I realized, whoa, you added too many things too fast. And I had to say, this is a good thing, but it's not a God thing for today. And I had to make the conscious, I have not touched that, but nor do I feel guilty or beating myself up. It was a conscious decision. Whoa, no, how are you going to sign up for a book coach and write a book? I started looking at all the things I was doing that I started, right? It's too much. You got to be realistic. We're humans, right? We're human beings, not human doings. So you're going to run through the filter. Is this, when it comes to your business, is it producing income or the potential for income? Is it producing impact? Now, color coding your calendar is a really great way to help keep that in track. And so the Google Calendar is great for that. If you're using a physical calendar, using pens. So if something is income producing, you notice that Google's got 2 shades of green. So it's something I'm doing that really has the potential to create income. So maybe I did a free masterclass or something. That would still be in the light green. It didn't actually, unless I charge for it, it didn't actually produce income, but it was a lead generation. It really had potential. It was very focused to keep me on course, right? That would be an example, or speaking on a podcast, or writing a chapter in someone else's book, or whatever. So light green. And then the things that are actually producing income, like your coaching and getting paid for it, speaking and getting paid for it, darker green. So I can see how much green is on my calendar. Now, if my calendar is completely green, I'm doing a lot of, income producing, but now either maybe my health or my relationships are suffering, right? Of course, those are pink. So if there's not pink in my calendar, something's out of balance the other direction. So if there's no green, I have no business. If there's no pink, I have no life. Purple for me is the spiritual and the God. So you come up with your color coding system, but this is a way, and here's the key is that what gets inspected, what we inspect and what we expect that we create space for gets done, right? So every week, like I told you, when you make an offer, put a big O next to the name. So if there's a prospect's name and then you made an offer, or you got on and did a podcast, an offer means you gave a specific opportunity for something to buy something with a specific price that they can say yes or no, or they could say either or. I want the 1-day intensive, or I want the 90-day. That's an offer. An offer, they have to be able to give you money. It's not an offer if not. So to say, hey, join my Facebook group, that's not an offer, that's an invitation. So making sure you sort out between invitations and offers, right? If you say, hey, I'd love to DM me, I'd love to talk to you, that's not an offer, that's an invitation. So make sure that you are inspecting at the end of every week. Have a self-reflection. Saturday, Sunday, how did I do this week? You can do it daily on the Prosper Daily plan in the evening routine. How many new people did I talk to? When you go through the whole week, if I talk to a client and I say, how many new people, potential clients, prospects, did you talk to this week? How would you answer that? And then how many presentations did you make where you made an offer? If you didn't have new people, you're not in business. If you didn't make an offer, you're not in business, unless you're so full of clients that you don't need any new people. But I don't think that's the case for most of you, right? Okay, does that help you, Julie? I love that you're putting a filter. I love that. We've got to start putting a filter. And there's lots of things I would love to do. There's things I'm behind on in my life that I have to say, that's a delay. I'll get to it, but it's not yet. I mean, Kim, my tower garden is a mess. I still need to put that stuff in there and soak it and clean it and replant. Haven't done it, okay? It's been delayed. My business has been really, I've got to serve the client, I got to do, but I'll get to it. It's there. So there's things that we delay, and delegating. Delegating is so huge.
Speaking of delegating, that's one reason I don't have a tower garden, because I can't even figure. I looked at how to figure it out. I cannot. But I want to know where my money is, and I used one tool and it was free, and now there's something else. I'm like, no, but I think I'm willing to pay the $100 just so I can have it all in one. I'm looking for an app to just go, here's all of your crazy accounts in one place. Has anyone found a good solution that they like? And I'm happy to pay, because I'm tired of doing it the long way.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Well, I guess I'll just put it, this is gonna be a little longer office hour with the 2 different topics, but trying to think if I want to start a new topic on that or not. I think I'm going to start a new topic on that. So let's end the first one.